Continuing our special coverage for the Senate elections 2025, and from Aswan Governorate, we have our correspondent Hany Farag to update us about the latest concerning the opening of the polling stations. Good morning, Hany.
Good morning, Maesty. Good morning, and all my greetings from Aswan to you. And the start of the second and the final day of this Senate election marathon at 9 in the morning. The committees actually opened their doors to voters, especially female voters here in Aswan, who wait in front of the committees even before the start of the second day's work and activities, so they can cast their votes before the sun's temperature rise here in Aswan, which gradually rise to reach 45 degrees Celsius. The judges here have been present since the morning with subcommittees members and of course the number of these subcommittees are maybe 190 subcommittees inside 189 polling stations. Aswan forms one electoral constituency extending for approximately 500 kilometers. 8 candidates are competing for only 2 seats in this Senate election. I have to say also that the ballot boxes were opened to start the voting process by the members of the electoral committee under the supervision of the committee judge. Ballot boxes had been closed yesterday at the centers or in the electoral headquarters. I have to say also the total number of subcommittees there again reaches 190 committees, and they are located within 189 polling stations. We have here 8 general committees. Once again and in detail, those who have the right to vote and to cast their votes in today's elections after the latest amendments of the statics of the governorate and the Supreme Elections Committee, the number reaches 1,160,756 male and female voters. Yesterday, the electoral process has already stopped from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. for rest and lunch, as stipulated in the working mechanism of the electoral committees across the country. Let me say again that an hour of rest from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. was indeed very necessary for all those in charge of following the electoral process, especially in light of this hot weather. Again, and as you see, there is a lot of voters coming here in order to cast their votes. The high temperatures here in Aswan had an impact really on the temperature, rather on the participation rate of voters in this electoral process for the Senate Council. But with the resumption, of course, of these activities or this work of the electoral committees today, each party and each individual candidate are continuing to mobilize their supporters. Therefore, participation rate are also usually expected in the early morning or in the late hours of night, and again expected with the arrival at night hours and a gradual relative decrease in the temperature and maybe I can say refraction of sunlight. In general, in villages in Aswan, the participation rate may be higher than cities. Especially, we mentioned that Aswan constitutes this large electoral constituency, and more tribes here are in competition in order to get a seat in these Senate elections. The strongest electoral competition maybe in Edfu Center, which is one of the 5 centers in this Aswan's constituency. 8 candidates are competing only, again, on 2 seats for this border governorate. And in light of this hot weather, as well as ensuring this ensuring the regularity of the electoral process, the governor of Aswan stressed the connection of the control and the public safety center at the general office of governorate with the operations room of security directorate, the court and the local units, all that in order to follow up the electoral process, and in order to secure it and protect it from any emergency.
Yes,
also on the ground,
Farag, our correspondent from Aswan, thank you so much, Hany, for your updates, and we'll be back to you throughout the day for more updates on the voting in Aswan Governorate. Thank you so much, Hany, and best of luck in this hot weather. Our dear viewers, that was our correspondent Hany Farag from Aswan, and continuing our special coverage for the Senate elections 2025. Stay tuned.